Dear students, welcome to the class TY Advanced Accounting. In this video, we will learn the topic Final Banking Company Account. Dear students, this is the video number 1 for the topic Final Accounts of Banking Companies. In this video, we will see the theoretical background of this topic. This topic is purely practical, but before starting the practical examples, we will see some important terminology provisions in these topics in this video, and again uh, after this video we remaining the provisions and the remaining terminology video number second, and after these two video completed, then we will starting our practical examples. So objective of this topic, after studying this unit you will be able to understand the meaning of bank, various statutory provisions of Banking Regulation Act 1949, method of presenting final accounts in prescribed forms, and learn how to prepare profit and loss account and balance sheet within details working notes. So before starting the core part of this topic, we will see here the learning points. This topic: introduction, meaning of banking company, statutory provisions of Banking Regulation Act, preparation and presentation of final accounts, and form of final accounts. This is the learning points in this video lecture. So first we see here the introduction for this topic. Bank business in India is governed by the Banking Regulation Act 1949, which came into force from 16th March 1949. As per Section 2 of this Act, provisions of Companies Act 1956 are also applicable to banking companies. Bank is a commercial institution licensed to accept deposits and acts as a safe custodian of the funds of its customers. Banks are mainly concerned with receiving, collection, transferring, buying, lending, investing, exchanging, servicing money and claims to money both domestically and internationally. The principal activities of a bank are operating current accounts, receiving deposits, and advancing loans to the customers. After see the introduction, we see here the meaning of banking company. Here, as per Section 5, subsection B of the Banking Regulation Act 1949, banking means the accepting for the purpose of lending or investment of deposits of money from the public repayable on demand or otherwise, and withdrawal by check, drafts, order or otherwise. Section 5 subsection C of Banking Regulation Act defines banking companies as any company which transacts the business of banking in India. However, the definition given by the Act is too narrow. In modern world, banking is not restricted merely to acceptance of deposits and lending advances. Section C of the Act also recognizes this fact and has accordingly laid down that in addition to the usual banking business, a banking company may carry on any additional business as specified by Section 6. This is the meaning of banking company. When we solved the practical problem of this topic. That time we considered some statutory provisions of Banking Regulation Act. So first here, statutory reserve. According to section 17 of the Banking Regulation Act 1949, every banking company incorporated in India shall create a reserve and transfer to it at least 20% of its annual profit before any dividend is declared. Now second, cash reserve. Every banking company not being a scheduled bank has to maintain a cash reserve of at least 3% of the total of its demand and time liabilities in India as on last Friday of the second preceding fortnight. Now third, restriction on loans and advances. No banking company shall grant any loans or advances on the security of its own shares. And second, grant any loan or advances to any of its directors or any of the firm in which any of its directors is interested as a partner, employee or manager. This thing is very important for the point of view um, Banking Regulation Act. Now fourth, restriction on payment of dividend. No banking company shall pay any dividend on its shares until all its capitalized expenses have been completely written off. So here next provision, minimum capital and reserve. As per the section of 11 subsection 2 of the Banking Regulation Act 1949, the aggregate value of paid up capital and reserve of a banking company incorporate outside India shall not be less than 50 lakhs rupees, and it has a place of business in city of Mumbai or Calcutta, then it shall not be less than 20 lakh rupees. It should be noted that such sum and 20% of the net profit of each year shall be kept deposited with the reserve as we see earlier, statutory reserve. Bank of India is cash or in the form of main convert approved securities or partly in cash and partly in the form of such securities. However, in case of a banking company which is incorporated in India, the aggregate value of capital and reserve shall not be less than the stated amount according to place of business. This thing is very important. If outside India shall not be less than 50 lakh rupees and the it place of business city of Mumbai or Calcutta, then it shall not be less than 20 lakh rupees. Now next, restriction on commission, brokerage, etc. No banking company shall pay out directly or indirectly by way of commission, brokerage in any form in respect of shares issued by it, any amount exceeding 2.5% of paid up value of shares. Now next, statutory provisions of Banking Regulation Act is books of accounts. Bank has to adopt a specialized system of bookkeeping which will ensure demitiated entry of numerous transactions and keep an internal check on the books of accounts. For this, bank generally maintain a large number of subsidiary and memorandum books in addition to principal books of accounts. Now we see here the principal books of account. Cash book and general ledger are the principal books of accounts of any bank. Cash book records all cash transactions and general ledger contain control accounts of all subsidiary ledgers and different assets and liabilities account. Now last one, final accounts we prepared according to the section 29 of the Banking Regulation Act 1949. Every banking company is required to prepare with reference to that year balance sheet and profit and loss account on the last working day of the year in the form of A and in the form of B respectively as given in schedule 3. This is the statutory provisions of Banking Regulation Act when we solving the final banking company's practical problem. Now we will see here the preparation and presentation of final accounts. So first here we see the schedule number 1, that is capital. It is the first item of liabilities. Its details are given in schedule number 1, which contain authorized capital, issued capital, subscribed capital, called up capital and paid up capital. And the pro forma of this schedule is here. Uh, this is the schedule number 1. Schedule number 2, here reserve and surplus. It include statutory reserve, capital reserve, share premium, profit and loss account balance. The details of this are given in schedule number 2. Here statutory reserve opening balance. If any addition during the year we added in the opening balance. If any deduction during the year we also deducting the amount in the opening balances and then take the figure in the current year column. Same as the capital reserve, share premium and revenue and other reserve, and the remaining balance is profit and loss account. We transfer the amount from B, profit and loss account. Then we take the total, this 5, and this is the schedule number 2, reserve and surplus. Schedule number 3, here deposits. Its content demands deposits, saving bank deposits, oblique accounts, term deposits. The details are given in schedule number 3. Here the demand deposits from banks from others, saving bank deposits, term deposits from banks from other total, and deposit of branches in India and deposit of branches outside India. And then we take total in the current year column. Next, schedule number 4, borrowings. It includes borrowings from Reserve Bank of India, borrowings from other banks and institutions and agencies. The details about it are given in schedule number 4. So schedule number 4 here, the pro forma of this schedule, borrowings in India, in that 3 categories, and the second, borrowing outside in India, in that secured borrowing include in first and second above rupees dash, and then we take the total in the current year column. Schedule number 5, other liabilities and provisions. It includes bills payable, branch office adjustment, inter office adjustment, credit balance, interest accounts outstanding, accrued on deposits, provision for taxations, rebates on bill discounted, etc. and shown in the schedule number 5. Means I reading this content, these are included in the schedule number 5. In the pro forma already given some items: bills payable, inter-office adjustment, interest accrued, others including provisions, that is provision for taxation, rebate on bill discounted. These provisions also came here in the schedule number 5. Schedule number 6, cash in hand and balance with RBI. It includes cash in hand including foreign currency notes and balance with Reserve Bank of India. Details are given in schedule number 6. It's mean cash in hand including foreign currency notes also and balance with RBI in current accounts as well as in other accounts. We recorded in this schedule number 6. Now next, schedule number 7, balance with other banks, money at call and short notice. It contains balance with other banks, money at call and short notice, and these are shown in the schedule number 7. Means remaining, not RBI, the other banks balance we recorded here. Means balance with banks in India and balance with banks outside India we recorded here. Schedule number 8, investments. Investment in government securities, other approved securities, investment in shares of debentures and bonds, gold are shown under the heading. The details are given schedule number 8. So you can see here in the pro forma investment in India, government securities, other capital securities, shares, debenture bonds, subsidiaries and joint ventures, other to be specified. And investment outside in India, in that also government securities including local authorities, then subsidiaries and or joint ventures abroad, other investments to be specified in this schedule number 8. Now next, advances. Schedule number 9. It gives detail about loans and advances granted by bank. It includes loans, cash credit and overdrafts, term loans, bills purchased and discounted. The details are given in the schedule number 9. Then 10. Fixed assets. Premises, furniture and fixtures and other fixed assets are shown under this head. The details are given in the schedule number 10 as per pro forma. Premises at cost on 31st March of the preceding year, addition during the year if any, deduction during the year if any given there, and depreciation to the date we given in the adjustment. And same as the other assets also we uh, treated like premises or furniture and fixtures. Then schedule number 11, other assets. It includes advance taxes, stationery and stamps on hand, branch adjustment, debit balance, and the credit balance were recorded in the schedule number 5, other liabilities and provisions, and the debit balance were recorded here, the branch adjustment. Interest accrued on advances, non-banking assets etc were recorded schedule number 11, that is other asset. Details are given in schedule number 11. Inter-office adjustment, interest accrued, tax paid in advance, tax deducted at source, means TDS also we recorded here, schedule number 11, that is other asset. Then stationery and stamps, non-banking asset acquired in satisfaction of claims and others. This is the schedule number 11. Then schedule number 12, contingent liabilities. It indicates the liabilities which are not provided in balance sheet. It includes liabilities on partly paid shares, claims against bank not acknowledged as debt, acceptance, endorsement and other obligations etc. Details are given in the schedule number 12, and this is the pro forma of schedule number 12, contingent liabilities. And here one important item also here, bills for collection. It includes bills receivable received on behalf of customers for collection. These are shown outside the balance sheet. After the contingent liabilities, we recorded the bills for collection amount. It is shown by outside of the balance sheet. We don't consider these two content total in the balance sheet. This is the only recording separately there, but not adding in the total of balance sheet. The next schedule number 13, income. It includes interest earned or discount received by the bank or advances or bill discounted, income on investments, interest on balance with RBI, etc. It's shown under the schedule number 13. Here, interest discount on advances or bill, income on investment, interest on balance with Reserve Bank of India and other interbank funds, and other things are coming to the schedule number 13, that is interest earned. Now, next, other income includes commission exchange and brokerage, profit on sale of investments, profit on revaluation of asset, dividend from subsidiaries. These are shown in the schedule number 14, and the pro forma of the schedule other income is see here. Now next, schedule number 15, interest earned, that is expenditure. These are shown under three different heads, wise interest expended, operating expenses and provisions. Interest expended includes interest paid by bank on deposits and borrowings. It is shown under the schedule number 15. This is the schedule number 15, interest expected, and these two uh, schedules is related to the expenditure. The next one is operating expenses. Here the schedule number 16, operating expenses of banks such as salaries and allowances to staff and officers, rent tax rates, printing and stationery, advertisement, depreciations on bank property, etc. are shown under the schedule number 16. Provisions include provision made for doubtful debts, tax provisions, and other contingencies. Also, we show here but separately. After take the total schedule number 16, then with this total take into the form number B, that is profit and loss account. These provisions, that is doubtful debts and tax provisions and other contingencies. After see the preparation and presentation of final accounts, we will see here the form of final account. Here the form of balance sheet in vertical format, the form A, that is balance sheet. Here the pro forma balance sheet, third schedule, section 29, form A, form of balance sheet of dash dash bank as on 31st March dash dash, and here the four column, that is particulars, schedule number and current year. Previous year column is not needed. We only draw the three columns: particulars, schedule number, and current year balance. So first heading is here capital and liabilities. Under that, capital schedule number 1, reserve and surplus schedule number 2, deposits schedule number 3, borrowings schedule number 4, other liabilities and provisions schedule number 5. Then we take here the totals for the uh, each schedules here, and then take a total of these 5 here. Now here the second heading is here assets. Under the assets, cash in hand and balance with RBI schedule number 6, balance with other banks, money at call and short notice schedule number 7, investments schedule number 8, advances schedule number 9, fixed assets schedule number 10, and other assets schedule number 11. And we take the total this 6 one here, and our balance sheet must be tally. And as per earlier I said you, the contingent liabilities we take total here and write down the here, and same as the bills collection also, we only write down the amount value here, but not adding the total in the asset as well as in the liabilities. Now next, the form of profit and loss account, form B, from profit and loss account for the year ended on 31st March dash dash. Here also same format, but here we have see the four heading. First head is income. Under that, interest earned and other income, that is schedule number 13 and schedule number 14. Then we take a total. After that, we recording here the expenditure. Under that, interest earned schedule number 15, operating expenses schedule number 16, and provision and contingencies. Then we take a total. After that, we subtract the total, means income minus expenditure, and we get the amount here profit and loss. It shows the profit or loss balance for the last year and current year net profit. It means difference between income and expenditure, that is profit oblique loss. So here we record here the opening balance given in the trial balance, opening balance, and then we calculate here the net year, current year net profit or net loss, that is income minus expenditure. Then after, the appropriations, amount transferred to statutory reserve and other reserve, proposed dividends are shown under the headings of appropriations, that is 20% transfer of statutory reserve for the current year profit, then transfer to other reserve if any, proposed dividend and interim dividend given in the problem, and balance carried over to the balance sheet, and this balance will transfer to the reserve and surplus schedule number 2. 2. This remaining balance will transfer to the schedule number 2, and this is the form number B. So thank you, friends. If you have any query, connect with me. This is my email ID snail@ktgmcollege.ac.in, and my mobile number here 7218189292. So thank you very much. Stay home, stay healthy, and stay strong. In the next video, we will see the remaining part of this video, and after that we will solving the practical examples for this topic, final banking company account.